It is a beautiful sunny day here in the town of Newburgh, but inside the Camry, it's even more bright and sunny because look at all this brass, and over here is stainless steel, and we got wire, and we got more brass, and more stainless steel, and more brass. Let's check and see what we got in the trunk. I mean, I already know, but whoa, it's falling out. We got fins on fins, we got more brass, we got more stainless steel. Then in the back, there's the giant iguana. We're gonna take that over and sell it to and on the other side, we got more brass, and more brass, and more brass up here, and more brass in here, and brass, and brass, and I can't wait to find out how much brass we actually have. So it's time to go to the scrapyard. I just got finished at the scrapyard. I had 373 pounds of stainless steel, 417 pounds of brass, 27 pounds of insulated wire, 23 pounds of fins, and that added up to a nice pile of fresh lettuce. So now let's go back to Newburgh and watch a video I made about a year ago about how to install a motor mount. That didn't sound too good, did it? If you got a really heavy clunking noise coming from your engine compartment when you shift into reverse or drive, chances are you've got a worn out engine mount or motor mount, and that's what I'm going to replace today. The first thing I need to do is get rid of this coolant tank, which is held in place by one 10mm bolt right down there. And the lighting's not working in my favor today, so you're just going to have to trust me on this bolt. With the tank out of the way, you can see we're up against some nuts and some bolts, but this engine mount is holding the engine in place. So we can't just take the engine mount off or the engine will drop and that'll be a problem. So we need to support the engine from the bottom. It's a little bit hard to see, but I have the engine supported on my jack with one of the lower engine mount brackets. Don't put your jack under the oil pan, don't put it under the transmission because those parts are made of aluminum and they will break. Make sure you find a sturdy steel point where you can raise the engine from below, or if you can't find that, get an engine hoist and support the engine from above. I've already soaked the nuts in WD-40, so now I'm going to use my Craftsman breaker bar and try and get them off. That one's coming pretty easily. Let's try the other ones. That happens sometimes. With those nuts off, I can remove this cover to reveal two more bolts down in here. And I'll give these a spritz of WD-42. These are 13mm bolts, and it looks like they're coming out pretty easily. Let me get the other one. And we're loose. Now look how easily I can rock the engine back and forth just with my bare hands. It's not supposed to do that. Now there are two more 15mm nuts that we've got to get off at the bottom. And with a little effort, they come free. And that's it, the last nut. Now I just have to get rid of these three 18mm bolts. Now, to my surprise, two of these bolts had nuts on them on the bottom underneath the bracket. I was under the impression that the bracket here was threaded and the bolts went right into the bracket. So either I was wrong or someone did this job before and screwed it up. But we'll work with what we have. Now the top part of the mount comes out really easily, and the bottom part comes right out too. Now that the mount's out, let's look at it. These rivets are supposed to hold the inner mount in place, but they're totally loose, totally broken off. And this mount is heavily worn, it's just flopping around. This thing is a mess, and I guess it's time to replace it with a new one. I went to rockauto.com, which is my new go-to source for auto parts, and ordered the best mount that they had because I'm tired of using cheap parts. So this is what showed up. This is a Pioneer engine mount, and it comes in a kit. Well, not exactly a kit. Let me see if I can get this thing on camera. It comes with these mounting bolts on the bottom that go in place of the old rivets, and this is a nice quality piece. You can tell the molding lines are nice. The other ones from the photos, you could tell they were just garbage. So this one should work pretty well. Now the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of pop this old mount out of the bracket, and look at that. That's in rough shape. Now I'm going to use a screwdriver to attempt to pop out these old rivets. There's one. I'm always a little nervous with stuff like this because I tend to cut myself a lot. Looks like this one's gonna need a little bit more persuasion, so I'm using a little more persuasion. And there it's out. Now I'm gonna use a paper towel and try and clean some of the grime out of here, some of the WD-40 overspray, just so the thing isn't a total mess. If I was really particular, I'd probably spray paint that, but I'm not that particular, and I hate spray painting. And now I'm just gonna put the new mount right into the bracket. I've already installed the new bolts, and I'm gonna tighten them with a 6mm Allen key. And when you install those screws, make sure to use some Loctite on the threads, or else they might come out and you'll have to do the whole job again. Tighten them good and tight. There you go. Now I can clean up some more of this WD-40 because it's everywhere. That should do it. Next, I just drop this lower mount back in place, and I tighten the 15mm nuts. Next, the upper bracket goes in place. And it's kind of a tight fit, but it goes right in. Now I'm going to thread in these two 13mm bolts, but I'm not going to tighten them just yet because I want to leave a little bit of play so I can align the top bracket. Now, like I said earlier, there's some weird stuff going on with these bolts and nuts. I don't know if it's from the factory or if somebody screwed it up, but I'm gonna put them in, get them started, and see what I'm up against. This bolt's the only one that threads directly into the bracket behind it, so I'm gonna tighten that one first. And that'll hold the engine in place. I can honestly say I have no idea what's going on with these 3 bolts, but I'm gonna tighten them as well as I can and hope for the best. Not too tight on this middle one because there's a gap in between here and I don't want this bracket to snap. Now I'll tighten these two 13mm bolts that hold the upper bracket to the new mount. Next I'll slide the top plate back in place and we're almost done. Now I just tighten these last 3 nuts. 1, 2, and 3. And of course I can't forget my coolant tank. Now let's see how we did. That looks and feels a lot better to me.